Hello, Otafest listeners, and welcome back to the Otafest podcast. With me, I have Angelo and Dio.
Wow.
Hello.
Hello, I'm back.
I surprised you because Nancy isn't here today.
Nancy's with us in spirit, but not in body.
Indeed.
Oh my god,
her
she's
body
astral
is
projecting.
Her.
body has been isekai'd elsewhere at this point in time. Please take up any complaints with the Otafest podcast management in the interim.
I refuse.
I don't
Before we
guarantee
get-
that Otafest podcast management will do anything about your complaint about Nancy's absence.
Yes, in that case, forward it all. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, we just like to announce our second award-winning cosplay guest of honor. It's Sonia Blade coming to you live at Otafest. She has attended conventions since 2008 and started cosplaying in 2016, taking off with her first handmade cosplay. She has now made over 40 cosplays, judges cosplay competitions, and is completely self-taught. She wants to inspire others to join the community and give a voice to the people of color cosplay community. Check out Sonia's socials via @SoniaBladeCause on Instagram. That's Sonia Blade Cause on Instagram.
And rev up those panel submissions. Get your panel submissions in by February 19th and share your passions with our Otafest community. It's the last week for you to do so. And a quick reminder that Otafest 2022 will be a 2-day event rather than our traditional 3-day event. In keeping the interests of everyone's health, we will be requiring that all attendees have masks and will be checking for vaccination status.
Yeah,
Yay, exciting stuff.
very
Yay.
exciting. Congratulations on booking 2 of our cosplay guests. We've already talked about
Yeah.
Monsieur Wiru.
Yeah,
The
you guys got to talk
Ike
about Ike Riru. Now we can talk about
Yeah.
Sonya, which is super exciting.
Yeah.
For those who turned on the twitch.tv/Otafest for our live stream day event last year, Sonya is returning. She was one of our guests who we had originally announced as a guest of honor for 2020, and she was able to join us and was willing to join us for live stream day, which was a really awesome experience. She did a couple different panels for us, and including a live sew along where she was sewing along and kind of building a project live on stream, and answering questions from our community about her process as she was doing the process, which was kind of cool. Yeah, it's kind of cool, right? Because I mean, anybody can tell you it's one thing to do a project, and it's another thing to teach people how to do a project, and it's a whole other beast to do both at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Which was
It's very
really
impressive.
cool. Yeah, it was very impressive stuff, and she's super friendly. She was just an incredible person to have on our live stream, and an incredible guest to get to interact with. She's completely self-taught, which I think, you know, a lot of cosplayers, especially in our local community, can relate to, where, you know, they make their own costumes, or if they purchase their costumes, they like to alter them and kind of add their own unique little flair and fit to them. And Sonia is really, really good at doing that stuff. And so we're really excited to be able to bring her in person to Otafest, because she'll be judging some of our cosplay competitions, and so we'll be able to get feedback from her on how to improve and level up your skills. And she'll also be doing a couple of panels focused on craftsmanship, because that's what she likes to do, which is really cool.
I think that I am very excited to have her around, even though I say, like, you know, I don't follow a lot of cosplay stuff. Just having that sort of very relatable type of cosplayer. Like, I mean, it's one thing, like, yes, you know, there's sort of like a built different mentality where it comes like, oh, like, you know, award-winning, like international sort of ability that's been recognized. But to know that it all comes from the same source goes a long way.
Yeah, definitely. And I do have to agree with you on the relatability aspect, because, like, Sonia is a person who's, she's won tons of awards, she's done some incredible work, and she's also judged international cosplay competitions, but she is very proud of the fact that she's Afro-Latina, and she's from the Texas area, and so it is kind of relatable, right? Like, I mean, she's a person of color, and she likes to advocate for people of color enjoying crafting and cosplay, and that's really cool because I'm a Black cosplayer myself, so it's kind of cool to hear from another person's experience and learn about
I bet
what makes them happy and what they do, and yeah, it is very relatable, and it's nice when we're able to bring in such incredible, relatable guests who can talk about different experiences. And that's like one thing that I really love about not just our cosplay guest roster, but like our guest rosters at Otafest in general. I like that, we'll do everything from bringing cosplayers from America and guests from Canada and guests from Japan and across Europe. Like, you get to meet all kinds of different people and find out that despite things like language barriers and different ways of life and all kinds of things, that we're all just big nerdy anime fans who want to talk about our nerdy anime stuff.
On the topic of sort of like cosplay within the people of color community, some people like don't really understand, but like I've had my eyes sort of open to it, it makes a lot of sense. But some people would be like, oh, like it doesn't matter what your skin color is, and you can just throw on a costume of any kind. It's like, yes and no. There's a lot of like who you are as a person ties into your cosplay. Not necessarily just always what you look like, but the culture that you come from and where you represent. But like I can't speak to each different style or background or cultural background, but like the things that I've seen online, some of my favorite ones are sort of when folks from more like the Muslim communities sort of cosplay, because a lot of like female cosplayers, they tend to integrate their
hijab into their costume.
Yes, exactly. And I think that's like so creative.
It's really cool to see.
Yeah, and it's just like of course, like that makes sense. Like you need to sort of still respect who you are, where you
as
come
a person,
from, but you want to express your
you.
creativity, right? Like that makes sense. That who's to say a girl from like anywhere else in the world couldn't watch like Sailor Moon and be like, I want to cosplay that. How can I make this work? And then I've seen like essentially like headdresses, or not headdress. I don't know what to call it specifically because I'm not well versed in all the terms, but like sort of like a hijab type, headwear where like they made like buns in like the
in the
like
shape
twin tails
of Serena's like little
exactly.
like her what did they call it in the English dub?
Oh
her,
my
her
god,
meatball head.
Serena.
Yeah.
Listen,
So, like,
I grew
you get the
up
idea.
with English dub Sailor Moon. Leave me alone.
People know what we're talking about. It doesn't matter.
I know. I mean, let's be real. If you called her Usagi, most people would not know who the hell you're talking about.
Also true. But yeah, just like
Exactly.
the idea. And then like in within like the Black community, I've seen lots of really cool integration of like, again, like Black
Curly
culture
hair
with
and afro hair. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of that too. And so it is really cool. Yeah, I agree. Like, sometimes, the topic can be kind of sad where we talk about, the hardships that people face. If you face hardship and disparity because of your race or your skin color or any other kind of factor, chances are, we live in a society and what have you, so things will carry out the same way outside of your hobbies as they will inside your hobbies. But you also get like the positive stuff too, which is you get to see how different cultures all bring to life their favorite characters. Like, it's so cool, as you mentioned. Like, I love seeing hijabi cosplayers because it's like, I don't know how to do that. Like, styling a wig is already really difficult for me. You guys have figured out how to emulate hair with fabric. Like, that's really cool. And then, you know, you have the people who will do all kinds of intricate like colored and curly like afro cosplays.
Styling,
and you'll
right?
see, I've seen, you know, as well, it's really cool as, you know, there are more and more different kinds of international media too. You're seeing characters depicted in different cultural outfits. Like, you know, you're starting to see in some games, lots of games now will have Lunar New Year events. And so you'll see
Also true.
you'll see characters in different skins and stuff that reflect, you know, like you'll see them in like a more traditional Chinese, I think it's a Hanfu, is that the right word?
Yeah. Well, there's
Or no,
different.
Hanfu
Hanfu
is
is
the Korean
I
one,
think.
Korean, and the Chinese one is Kipao or something similar.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure, but you'll see character skins in different kinds of traditional dress from different cultures, and you'll see different characters represent different cultures, and so that's really cool too, because you get to see like the beauty and sort of like the beauty in the differences, which is kind of fun.
It goes, like I said, a really long way for in terms of like representation, and when you have people in the community who are not only putting themselves out there and then being recognized for it, and then also willing to like teach about it. That's the cool stuff.
It's really cool stuff. You know, you get to not just hear about it, you get to experience it and also learn from people who've experienced it and hear what they have to say. And so that for me is also really exciting. So I'm really glad that we're able to finally, despite, you know, how hectic things have been the past 2 years, I'm glad we're going to be able to bring Sonia in person.
Yes. It's been too long of a time since we've had our in-person con.
It's been
in-person
too
guests.
long.
The before years. Back in my day, anime
literally,
cons
2019
weren't
was
virtual.
the last in-person Otafest, right?
It was.
Oh.
Yeah. It'll be I think there'll be some kind of cool energy when we're actually there in the con center, and maybe like you know, we'll be business mode for most of the time, but I think I don't want to look too far ahead, but I think that this year's like closing ceremonies, for example, is going to be like extra special.
Yeah, I think so too.
A lot of hype from a lot of people.
Yes.
Who finally get to go to a convention. Finally.
Yes, I think there's going to be a lot of sort of like, I can't believe it's finally happening euphoria for a lot of people.
Yeah, like pent up energy release.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots of cosplays.
Lots of cosplayers,
sure
which is my favorite thing. Lots of panels, which I'm sure people have missed. Gaming events that people have missed.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be nice.
God, I mentioned this last episode, but yeah, we're in crunch time now. We've got a lot of stuff that we're trying to, you know, get done in less than 3 months at this point.
Exactly. We're trying to, we're trying to like dot all the I's and cross all the T's and all that fun stuff. So it is Oda crunch time. But you know, the nice thing about at the end of Oda crunch time, you get the pressure wave release when Otafest actually happens.
Exactly.
Speaking of the Otafest, which is the anime convention.
Anime. We got to talk about anime.
We have anime, yeah.
Oh
It's
my
been a hot minute because, again, by my own admission, I forgot to do last season's anime preview, which is why we don't have a review.
We are more than halfway through the currently airing season.
Yeah.
And so we're going to skip winter. We are heading right on to talk about spring anime previews. Yeah. So a lot of these anime are going to be airing in April. Ooh.
My anime in April.
Yeah, yes. just in time for you to finish watching any of these shows mid-season at Otafest. In the AV room.
Exactly.
So, would you like to start us off, Angelo?
Certainly. So the first anime we're starting off with is Summertime Render by Studio OLM. This is a drama, mystery, supernatural thriller anime. A tragic incident calls a young man named Shinpei back to his hometown on the remote island of Higotoshima, Japan. But something sinister awaits upon his return, and a chilling sequence of events unfolds that will have dire consequences for Shinpei, for Japan, and for the entire world.
Oh my god.
Good lord.
The trailer for this was incredible.
So I really
It
would
was pretty
recommend watching the trailer for this because I think that the description of it does a pretty bad job
Good bad
Of-
job.
of describing what's actually going on.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you described it as sandbagging.
Yeah, like I went in and I watched the trailer. I had to turn on the auto translated subtitles,
Mhm.
but quite frankly, it feels like a murder mystery that follows the same kind of feeling, the same kind of vibes that Erased would have followed. So
Yeah.
if you liked Erased, the trailer for this really makes me think that this is something you would like.
Yeah, like I would definitely say that this show, just from the trailer, really draws on like that very specific niche sort of like category of Japanese anime drama thrillers, which is like it seems like it's got like the time travel murder mystery where either the crime happened in the past and you're trying to find the solution in the future, or there's literal time travel and a literal time loop. Like it gives me like a modern version of like Umineko no Nakokoro ni or Higurashi no Nakokoro ni or Erased, like Angelo mentioned.
Yeah, like so, the description is sandbagging because there's something more interesting going on. And quite frankly, being like, "Oh, something sinister's there, and it might have consequences for the world." It's like, no, screw it. Tell me about what's going on. Come on. But yes, I think you owe it to yourself to watch the trailer for this. The art looks really nice. The background looks really good. The characters look super cool. I'm interested. I am intrigued. I am hooked.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, everything was like very vibrant, colorful, full of action, good animation. So art style, I think, would hit very well with a lot of folks. It's not like I remember you mentioned Higu, and Higurashi is like it's good and it has like all the right psychological thriller notes, but I would say the art style is pretty lacking,
Weak.
right?
Higurashi traditionally has not looked great.
No.
And part of that is because, and I will say this as a Higurashi fan, I will defend Higurashi to the ends of the earth. Higurashi was kind of a one-off visual novel where, it's written and all the art was drawn by one guy. And no one is the perfect artist, no one's the perfect writer. I will say
the original
that
art for Higurashi was
it's a little rough. And I will admit that's
It
being
had
a
its
little
charm.
generous. It's charming in the way that it's charming because that one person took the time to learn how to draw just so he could illustrate the characters that he wrote.
and then
Mhm.
Dean animated the first anime.
Yeah, and that pretty much explains it. Unlucky.
And then the newer anime, I actually liked the art style of the new anime. There were some frames where things were looking really weird and funky, but you know what? I'll forgive it.
Yeah. I'm a big Higurashi fan, but I will say I
Mhm.
do for this new show, the art style looks very, very good. It looks very crisp. And very polished.
In other words,
So-
it seems like definitely give it the 3 episode, 2 episode, 1 episode, whatever you want to give it.
So
at least
yes,
try it.
summertime render, give it a shot.
Give it a try.
I think
yeah.
so. I think we can also say the same for this next episode.
This next thing?
This
anime.
next one.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, who wants to take it?
Oh, I'll take it. I would love to talk about this. I don't know what I was expecting from Spy X Family, which is going to be an action comedy supernatural thriller that'll be airing on Crunchyroll. Everyone has a part of themselves that they cannot show anyone else. At a time when all nations of the world were involved in a fierce war of information happening behind closed doors, Ostania and Westalis have been in a state of cold war against one another for decades. The Westalis Intelligence Service's Eastern Focus Division otherwise known as Wise, sends their most talented spy, Twilight, on a top-secret mission to investigate the movements of Donovan Desmond, the chairman of Ostania's National Unity Party, who was threatening peace efforts between the two nations. This mission is known as Operation Strix. It consists of putting together a family in 1 week in order to infiltrate social gatherings organized by the elite school that Desmond's son attends. Twilight takes on the identity of psychiatrist Lloyd Forger and starts looking for family members. But Anya, the daughter he adopts, turns out to have the ability to read people's minds, while his wife, Yor, is an assassin. With it being in each other's own interest to keep these facts hidden, they start living together while concealing their true identities from one another. World peace is now in the hands of this brand new family as they embark on an adventure full of surprises.
I know that's probably a lot of like words to digest, but watch the trailer.
It was amazing. It was an amazing trailer. Even the synopsis is really good, but it is such a wonderful, like, cute little like comedy action thriller. Like it's it's the Spy Family, right? It's the Spy Family thriller, so you're gonna get like intense action battles because spies are always fighting with crazy weapons. You've got the like super beautiful, gorgeous assassin wife, so she's gonna be like just a gaslight gatekeep girl boss.
But she seems like she's got like a very like modest personality.
Personality, which I think is kind of fun. Like it's
very cute.
She's not a cold-hearted like bitch. Like she's not I'm
that
cool.
We saw anyways.
She's I'm cool and I could kill you, but I'm really nice. Like I'm just doing my job. She's like Ganyu from Genshin Impact. I just work here. That's what she's like.
Don't overlook the fact that they have to like romance, like, because his whole thing about like he has to sort of form a family as soon as possible to like help keep appearances and continue his mission.
They're gonna have to look like husband and wife. So there's gonna be that romance element.
Yeah,
and then my favorite.
You can tell they're gonna love each other too. Like it's gonna be great.
The chemistry is there even from the trailer.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna be brought together by the tiny daughter.
She's so cute.
She's so cute.
The daughter character is so cute,
and she's so funny.
I really feel like the comedy in the series is going to revolve around the daughter. I hope it doesn't get old fast. I hope they have more than 2 jokes. But quite frankly, between Cloverwork and Wit, there's so much talent there that I have such high expectations for this.
I will take
I'm going
this one.
in expecting to be blown away.
Yeah.
And like the animation looked amazing, which Cloverworks and Wit.
The music was
good.
Incredible.
The music was just, it felt so time accurate, so like period accurate. Like this plot synopsis gave us so much more information than the trailer even did, which holy cow, good work, plot synopsis. That doesn't happen very often. But it's obvious like alternate reality USSR and the United States.
A little bit. There's a little bit of a Eastern European feel to the setting.
And the music too.
I would even go so far as to say, like, with the whole style and like the plot lines and everything like that, like, I think the anime is going to be really fun. I think this probably has a manga, and I think that manga would be really fun as well.
Yes, I'm fairly certain this one isn't anime original. I didn't write that detail down. But quite frankly, I'm here for it. I want to see where this goes. The animation and the music was so spot on that even if the story's kind of mid, I'll still be sitting in my chair with a bag of popcorn being like, hell fucking yeah, I am watching a feast for the eyes right now.
I think it'll be really funny. I think I think they've because they've established that the daughter is the one who's the telepath, so she's the one who knows everything. But everybody else around her doesn't. It's kind of
that's the great irony, right? Because like her parents are essentially intelligence professionals,
specialists,
right?
Yeah.
But like she's the one who inadvertently knows everything.
Yeah. And I think it's going to create there's so much opportunity there to create humor.
Yes. I'm super looking forward to it. I'm going to watch, I think, at least a few episodes of it and see how far it goes. I do agree that it could potentially get old fast, like depending on how they develop the story, if there's any overarching plot. But like, I don't know. It might just be like fun episodic, content where you just don't have to worry about an overarching story, and it's just fun, single
if
episodes.
It's just silly family hijinks. Even that I would be down for. Ooh.
Shall we move on to the next one?
I think so.
All right. So our third anime recommendation preview thing is Diamond, or in English, Kyoto and Wagashi and Family. Produced by Encourage Films. I have never heard of them.
Me either.
And the genre is adventure, comedy, fantasy, slice of life. I love me my slice of life.
Yep. You're a big slice of life. This might be a good
I
one
really
for you.
am. Nagomu Irino returns to his Kyoto home for the first time in 10 years when his father is hospitalized. Nagomu is eager to take over the Ryokosho, the family's Japanese sweet shop, but instead he's asked to be a father figure to Itsuka Yukihira, the girl everybody calls the successor.
Oh.
Yeah, and from the trailer, it seemed like really cute. Like it seems
Very wholesome.
like, yeah, like a very wholesome, again, like wholesome family themes and vibes coming out
There's
of
very
this
cute
one.
dessert art
Yeah,
that looks
yummy looking
delicious
food.
and makes me real sad because I just want to go back to Asia for food.
Yum. Take me
Uh,
with you.
I would invite I would invite if I had the money. I would invite and take everyone I could with me.
Yes, please. Get the money, please.
Oh, well.
The one thing that really struck me about this, the trailer for this one, was the background art was just absolutely stunning. It looked like it had all been like watercolor painted art, and it just had such a soft, comfortable, the kind of feeling where you just want to like wrap a blanket around you, have a hot cup of tea, and just vibe with this anime while you learn about sweets and see the family dynamic of the prodigal son suddenly being asked to
Being
take care
usurped.
of who is effectively his usurper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is he going to be like, okay, you know what? I don't deserve this place because I've
never
for a decade.
come home.
I disappeared for a decade, so obviously I don't deserve this place. But no, this is still kind of comfy, so I'll stick around. Maybe that's I'm pretty sure what it's going to happen.
It'll be interesting. I don't really know what to expect other than hopefully it's just a nice, good, low-key, comfy, cozy type of show.
And I think it's gonna be, we need comfy, cozy shows in our lives.
Yeah, to take you away from all the super intense drama, thriller type shows.
Yeah, you need something nice and chill to just binge and enjoy and get some free dopamine,
Exactly. Sometimes the anime is just like it acts like a friend. And in other times, the anime is Tomodachi Game, otherwise known as Friend Game. TL's note, Tomodachi means friend. By Okututo Noburo. It is a drama, mystery, psychological anime. And let's hear all about it. High school student Katagiri Ichi, who values friendship above all else, enjoys a fulfilling life with his close friends. Sawagiri Shiho, Mikasa Tenji, Shibe Makoto, and Kokorogi Yutori. However, after a particular incident, they're dragged into a debt repayment game. The only way to beat the Tomodachi Game is to not doubt their friends. Bound together by solid friendships, the game should have been easy, but the hugely popular comic that sold over 2 million copies is finally becoming... Oh, wait. That's not...
That's the way it was written.
The game should have been easy, but... And that's where the actual plot synopsis end. The hugely popular comic that sold over 2 million copies is finally becoming an anime. Will they trust or betray their precious friends? The true nature of humanity is exposed in the ultimate psychological game. Quite frankly, all I can say about this game is that they will never have the bromanity that was shown in the first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! when Yugi, Taya, Joey, and the guy with the pointy hair put their hands all in the middle and they drew a smiley face. Tristan. Yes.
Yes.
Again, I only know their English names. Someone out there is going to be like, oh, that's not their names at all. Who the hell is Taya? Who the hell is Joey? Don't you know their real name is? I don't even.
So I know something weird about Yu-Gi-Oh! If you don't know much Japanese or you don't, you only follow like the English release,
is this the manga? The manga? Yeah, keep going.
Well, it's the fact that the title Yu-Gi-Oh! Just means King of Games. So the title character's name is just game.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Because O means king, which is the same last name as I have. That's not my last name, but in Japanese, that's a pronunciation for my last name, and it means king. So it's just King of Games, and it's just the lead character's name is Game.
The game. Yep.
I never knew that before.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Things that just don't translate over well into English.
I was saying,
but then if you consider the idea that your character's name is Game, but the name of the anime is called King of Games, who is his king? They never address it. I don't understand. 0 out of 10 would not watch again.
Yes, they do. But, we'll not get into the deepness of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Lore.
Yeah, I really derailed this by saying that, these guys are never going to be as big of friends as
you. It's gone off.
You've derailed us. Back to the show. I know that anybody who watches this, or even people who don't watch this but hear about it, are definitely going to be like, this is a Squid Game anime. And yes, it is that genre of show / anime. It is the psychological drama battle anime.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't know how I feel about this one because like Death Game anime have been around for so long, and like even one of like the pinnacles of the genre, as some people put it, like one of the highest rated ones, like Yume Nikki. Was it Yume Nikki?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
that's the one you're thinking of.
No, Mirai Nikki.
Mirai Nikki, yeah. Sorry,
Yume Nikki was the game.
Yes,
Mirai Nikki is the one I'm thinking of. I wasn't able to finish it.
Oh, I actually liked Mirai Nikki, but that's okay.
That's what I heard. Everyone says it was good. I was kind of enjoying it, and I completely fell off of it. And that's happened to me with every single Death Game style anime I've tried to watch.
Yeah,
like I'll get 2 or 3, sometimes 5 or 6 episodes into it.
Yeah,
and I'll be like, yeah, this is good, and then I'll miss a week, and I'll have no. Incentive, no really feeling.
You know what? That's kind of fair.
Picking it up.
That's fair because you know what? I will say that probably the reason I liked Mirai Nikki is because in general, I do like the Death Game genre. Like I will watch like shows. So there's, the most popular one was Netflix's Squid Game, but there's also, stuff like Alice in Borderland was another one. And there's a whole bunch of, there's been tons and tons of Death Game anime. Everything from Tower of God was a recent one that aired maybe last year or the year before.
Tower of God was like 4 years ago.
No way. It wasn't that long.
No.
Okay, well, excuse my, memory's a bit of a sieve. But anyway, there was a Tower of God anime at some point in time that happened. It was in 2019. Okay, you know what? Fine. It was I did say it was a couple of years
ago.
that
wasn't that bad, actually.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago. 2020. Okay, see, I wasn't that far off. But anyways, they've been a thing for a long time. Like Battle Royale, the novel, Battle Royale, the movie, the Hunger Games. It's a thing that is both genre spanning outside of anime. It's also super popular in anime. I enjoy it, and so I know that I would probably watch Tomodachi Game and enjoy it. But I will say that a lot of Death Game media in general kind of suffer from they hook you in with the oh my god, ooh, the drama of scary, death game, and are people gonna get caught in the prisoner's dilemma, and what will they do?
Yep.
And they kind of fall flat on actually delivering on the character drama.
It's pretty, like, I've said many times, I really like battle royale genre. I really like the original battle royale like novelization, but in the novelization it gives you a lot of time to flesh out character drama.
Yeah.
And animation doesn't tend to let you do that. I'm not saying it's not going to be good. I'm just saying that animation's lack of quality in that regard comes from the idea that, like, every minute costs them a bunch of money to animate. So, they're going to cut out some backstory, some sort of, interaction that really develops both characters or all the characters that are involved in some, kind of conflict, either outer or inner conflict.
Yeah, you might not necessarily get the time to sit and really marinate in the characters so that the outcomes of their decisions are meaningful.
I think that's kind of my problem with death game anime. Now that I think about it, like, every time they introduce a new character, it feels like in every single death game anime, they introduce a character only to kill them off in the next episode or that very episode. So they don't get enough time for you to actually care.
Right, and unfortunately, they fall into some very predictable tropes.
Yeah,
such as, I don't know that's going to happen in this, but I'm just saying of the tropes that are available, like one of the ones is like too sweet to stay alive.
Yeah, like
right?
you get introduced to there's always like the nice girl character, and
or,
that
like
she's dead. And then there's always you figure out which character is the main character surrogate, and that character will not die. It is not possible.
Or like the sort of like best friend that you were able to trust with any secret or any anything you needed out in the real world, but
and he
in
stabs
this
you
situation,
in the back.
you see, like, you just don't know if you can trust them anymore.
I still don't forgive that one guy in Squid Game.
You know what? That's fair. Nobody.
But he he did it himself at the end, so it's okay.
Exactly.
I will say though, because this is like Tomodachi Game, it says that they're dragged into a debt repayment game. So I'm hoping that there's like an arena, and because of the name of the anime, I want this arena to be called the Friend Zone.
Yes, I want that. We deserve that. Please deliver.
Welcome to the Friend Zone.
Please deliver that. Speaking of delivery, we have one last anime to deliver to you all, and this one is an interesting one. This one's an interesting one. It's called Gunjo no Fanfare, in English, Fanfare of Adolescence. It's animated by Lei Douce, I'm not sure, or Lei Douce, and it's a sports anime. And I know what you're all thinking. You're thinking, a sports anime. I wonder what the target demographic is. Just you wait. Okay. The story takes place at a horse racing academy that trains boys to become jockeys. The 3-year academy is very competitive, and those who wish to enter must not only pass an academic test, but a physical and fitness test as well. Yu Arimura is a former popular idol who becomes enamored with horse racing after seeing it for the first time, and wants to join the academy. Shun Kanami was raised on an island, and only experienced horse races through radio broadcasts growing up. Amane comes from a high-class family in England, and his father is a former jockey. Amane has previously attended horse racing academies in various countries. The show follows these 3 15-year-old boys at the academy. So, you hear sports anime, you hear that the title is Fanfare of Adolescence, and you say, oh, this is an otome game, or like the target demographic of this show is typically like young women who are heterosexual or at least male attracted, and here are pretty anime boys doing sports for them to be attracted to. But wait, it's so much more than that. It's so much more targeted than that. It's targeting the intersection of otome game fans and horse girls.
It really is.
That's it.
Wasn't there horse boyfriend? Wasn't that a a game.
Horse boyfriend? Are you thinking of pigeon boyfriend?
No, I'm not thinking about pigeon boyfriend.
You might be thinking of Uma Musume, which was the horse racing idol girls.
Yeah, that was horse idol girlfriends.
No. I know. Hold on. I'm gonna post something in the Discord when I find it.
There was
but you guys, you keep talking
boyfriends?
about it.
There's well, anyways, either way, like that is the target demographic of this. It is very specifically like it's the it has all the makings of things that if you are into otome games that you would be into this, right? There's the sports aspect, there's the popular idol boy, there is, all of these, young men who are all competing but also establishing camaraderie. I have never seen this. It is apparently is called I have seen this.
Horse boy,
my horse prince.
Simulator.
I've only seen these as the cursed mobile game ads. That's the only thing I have seen this before. Okay, so I lied. There is that is also the intersection.
If you know.
Otome games and horse girls.
My God.
But it has all the makings of something
it's also
that
terrifying.
an otome game enjoyer would want. And it also has all of the things someone really into or really passionate about horses and horse racing would want. So that's the target. That's the target audience.
My thoughts on this anime are really I don't watch sports anime to begin with, but having watched the trailer for this, I'm going to avoid this one just so that I can enjoy the bad CG memes that are going to be coming out of this anime.
Yeah, that
Quite
is
frankly,
going to be coming.
There was some horse race. There was one horse racing scene in the trailer, and apparently they were so proud of it that they decided to also make the YouTube thumbnail for this video.
Yes.
It was Cestus tier CG. It was almost as bad
that's right. That was
as X-Arm. It was so like
no, it wasn't as bad as
X-Arm.
But it was bad as Cestus. And Cestus, as a reminder, was like the Greek fist-fighting gladiator anime.
The Roman boxer anime.
About 2 seasons, or not 2 seasons ago, about 2 years ago, I think, roughly.
Yeah.
And it was not bueno. And this is probably also not bueno, but they know what their target audience is. So Angelo doesn't have to watch it. They've already made loads of money.
All the 2D scenes in this anime looked fine. Even the horses, when they were in 2D, looked fine. But as soon as they got to the horse racing part, as soon as they pulled out the CG, it was like, holy dog, what the hell is going? Did anyone watch Witchcraft Works, where absolutely great anime, holy cow, and then the witches get on the brooms and it turns into like PS2 graphics, and you're like, what the hell is going on? Why? This scene doesn't add anything. They could have animated it differently that wouldn't have required CG. They could have cut this scene entirely. Why did they do this? They were looking at a solid B as far as the anime goes, and then they include this CG that drops it right down to a C minus. Like what doing? Who decided?
The answer is this. The answer is if they really wanted to like appeal to their target audience, they either fill that time with like just a little bit of horse racing to keep up the facade that it's a sports anime, or they fill that with fan service. Pick your poison. I personally thought that the way that the animation, like the 2D animation, honestly looked really, really nice. So like, I think the appeal, if you're someone who isn't already into otome games or isn't already into horses in some way, shape, or form, the appeal of this is going to be the pretty anime boys. I don't think the appeal of this show is going to be the horse racing.
No.
No. But maybe there's someone out there.
The horses are there.
Maybe there is someone who
horses
absolutely
exist.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe there is someone out there who really does need to see them actually race. And that's who that's for.
Yeah, I can't say I'm interested in watching it. However, so last night I was at a friend's place doing a little housewarming party, and some of our other friends who play mobile games brought up a mobile game to one of our other friends there, which was like the reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's like the same genre. It's like sort of reverse harem, pretty boys kind of thing.
Yep.
This game is new. I don't remember the title already because I've already talked about on one of those podcasts about how terrible of a memory I have. But this game is made by Disney.
Is it Twisted Wonderland?
Yes. It's the weird Harry Potter-esque male Disney... No, not male Disney villains. Disney villains turned into hot
pretty
males.
Yes.
Who are sometimes anthro, like you have Scar, who is super hot, but he's like a tanned furry boy. And then there's like Maleficent, who is turned into a character named Malleus, who has like big black horns like Maleficent, but the rest is just like Sebastian Black Butler.
Yep. Listen,
oh my God.
And you know what? I had a bunch of friends, so I'm not.
I only learned about this.
Myself.
I only learned about it yesterday. I don't know how old that game is.
Stole a castle into a butler? How dare they?
Listen, I have a bunch of friends who were into the Japanese version of this game.
Oh no.
That game, if you know an Otome gamer, this game has a vice grip on them.
Yeah.
Like
I could see it. I could see it because all the girls were playing and I just like got bored, so I wandered over to the one girl who had become entwined in the other girl's trap, which was they started, they got her to download it and she started playing through a bit of the intro story, and then she started getting her initial roles for her boys. And then we spent a solid hour re-rolling for boys to get the group of 10 that she really wanted together.
Yup.
And I was like, this is hell.
Hook, line, and sinker.
But at least they're attractive.
You know what? And sometimes that's all people need. And I think for anyone who is watching Gunjo no Fanfare, it looks like the boys are going to be attractive, and that's all you're going to need.
Yep.
God damn.
My only thought now is, at least recurring to the Disney Otome game, when are they making Kingdom Hearts 4?
Never.
They should, because
what if they skip 4 console cycles?
Don't say that. Don't.
It doesn't matter
that.
if they do that. I'm just saying they gotta make the hot boy enemies in there too.
True. Free money, printer Disney.
Yeah.
True.
Anyways,
so that's
all I have to contribute.
Look at the spring season coming up. That's we like normal. We generally try to focus on new anime as opposed to sequels. This upcoming season has a really bad case of sequelitis, and by that I mean there's some awesome hyped sequels coming up. Like there's a new season of Shield Hero, a new season of Bookworm Isekai. There's so much more coming up.
Black Rock Shooter is one of them.
There's a new
Black Rock Shooter.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I wanted to add this on to this page, and I decided not to, because literally all Black Rock Shooter had is a trailer. It doesn't have even a plot synopsis. So there is a new Black Rock Shooter coming out. It, as far as I can tell from the trailer, has nothing to do with any of the other Black Rock Shooter media.
No, I get that. Like, I think it's really just they utilize the character style.
The Shaft anime that they did, none of that has to do with this new one. The trailer looked interesting, but weird in a way.
Huh.
If you like Black Rock Shooter in the past, I mean, this is more Black Rock Shooter. If you have never seen Black Rock Shooter before, that probably won't matter.
You honestly don't need to start watching it at this point either.
Yeah, you can kind of just jump in.
It's not that but I would also say it's not an anime that you need to watch. It's not a classic show where you're like,
no, not at all.
Quite frankly, watch the
music videos, the old music videos.
Watch the old music video and understand that launched one man's career. Like Hook, the character designer behind Black Rock Shooter, that launched a career that brought him into like Steins Gate and a bunch of other things, and holy cow. But beyond that, honestly, as much as I love Black Rock Shooter's character design and I like the old music video and I like the Miku song and everything, And none of the Black Rock Shooter anime has been worth anyone's attention.
No, not really. But they make it anyways.
I hope this new one is good, but
it remains to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even write a plot synopsis for it, so
that's how much they care. Thank you very much for listening, and don't forget to submit a panel to Otafest if you'd like to share your passion and teach others about your passions.
If you are listening to this at 11:30 a.m. on Wednesday,
you have 2 more days.
You have 2 days to get your panel application in.
No, wait. 3 more days.
Either way, get them done.
Pause the podcast, go write up your panel application, and submit it.
Yes, pause the podcast right at the end of the podcast.
Yes, do it.
Yes,
your panel
do
application.
And then hit resume so you can listen to the last part, which would probably be the ending song, which sounds like this.